Hey, you see the headlines everywhere that home prices are dropping all over the nation. Here's the thing, real estate is local. So I'm going to break it down for you. I'm going to explain what is happening, what is not happening, what is falling, what is not falling. I'm Dusti Martin with Platinum Living Realty. Grab a drink, hit the subscribe button, buckle up, let's go. All right, so let's just get right to it. Let's confront it head on. We're seeing all kinds of headlines, even locally, saying home prices are dropping, we're headed for a crash, and all this crazy stuff. But here's what the actual numbers show. As of today, as of this recording, August 2nd, here in Maricopa County, our active listings are up over 155% over this time last year, but we're still under 3 months worth of supply here in the Valley. And if you've been watching my channel for very long, you know that anything less than 4 months of supply is a seller's market. So we are still in a seller's market. However, we're moving towards a more even, stable market. And in some price points around the Valley and in some areas, we are actually seeing buyer's market, but that's usually for the over $3 million homes. So keep that in mind. For the average home buyer, we're still very much in a seller's market. It's just not the crazy one we have seen for the last 2 years. It's more like the 2018 or 19 seller's market where you could go out, see 3 or 4 homes, take your time, pick the right one for you, and then make an offer and get it under contract somewhere between 98.5 and 99% of the list price. And you might even still get some concessions. That's kind of back where we are now. And if you are in a bidding war, it's usually on a really hot property that is really good looking in a really awesome neighborhood. So keep that in mind. But then our median days on market is still only 27 days. And that, even though it's up 42%, that's still, when you've got almost nothing and it takes 30 days on average to close a loan, you're still selling a home in less time it takes than to fund the loan. So keep that in mind. There's still a lot of cash around. There's still a lot of lenders who really have their buyers dialed in and can close in 3 weeks. So there is still a lot going on and things are still moving really, really quickly. So now let's get to the part about prices falling. Here's what's not falling. Home values. Your home value is what it would sell today if you were to sell it. And if you look at Maricopa County, our median price per square foot is actually up from last year, 16.9%. Now, is it the 30, 50, 60, 90, percent that we saw in 2021 when interest rates were almost nothing? No. But it's still a lot more than a normal, stable, inflationary home value increase. Normally, we would only see home values go up somewhere between 2 and 4%. And to be honest, prior to 2009, we would consider, appreciation, normal appreciation to be only 1 or 2%, because real estate has always supposed to have been a hedge against inflation and a long-term investment. So with this run-up and this recovery from the Great Recession, where home prices for the first time in recorded history literally dropped more than just a couple of percent, like we're talking 18 to 20%, depending on where you were in the nation. We've had this prolonged growth to pull ourselves out of it. And now we're finally starting to calm back down and get our wits about us again. So don't confuse that with a crash, and don't confuse it with your home value actually decreasing, because that is not decreasing. And here's a random tip that I'm sure a lot of you are wondering about. A couple days ago, before the final numbers were out, I went in and specifically pulled manually and went through listing by listing every listing in Scottsdale that had been listed in the month of July as of the 27th, I think it was. The month was not quite over yet. And out of 608 listings that had been listed in the month of July, 15% of them had had a price reduction. In other words, people were listing their homes for way more money than they should have. But yet, the average days on market was still average, normal. It wasn't much different than what we're seeing now. So that tells me that those homes that are not priced appropriately are sitting on the market. Those homes are reducing their price. And here's the even crazier thing. I was seeing lots of homes reduce their prices after only a week on the market. Why is that? Because the agent and the seller didn't seem to understand where the market is. Now, if comps are here, say you own a $700,000 home and you list it $750,000 or $780,000 or $800,000, no buyer in any market is going to go for that. So you need to keep that in mind. You cannot list above the comps as much as people are. And when 15% of people are way overshooting their home value and way overshooting what the last comp was, you need to get back in touch with reality. Make sure that you are pricing right at or only slightly above. And when I say slightly, I mean like less than $10,000 above the last comp. And especially if you own a home that is priced under $500,000, make sure that it's more like no more than $5,000, because that makes a big difference to the smaller priced homes. So you have to make sure that if comps say your home is worth $700,000, the most recent sale within the last 30, 60 days says $700,000, do not list your home above that. If you do, you're going to make sure that you are constantly having to reduce the price. And the last thing you want to do is be chasing the market downward. If you have a seller's market like we have here, 2.9 months of supply, what you will see is gentle upward pressure on a home value. So you shouldn't be aggressively listing at your aspirational price, because it's a recipe for failure. If you have any questions, if you're wondering what your home might sell for in today's market, or if you're a buyer and want to know what you're up against in a specific neighborhood, go ahead and give me a call at 480-717-9405 and visit my website at dustimartinrealtor.com.